Hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video, after a couple of years, I'm going to be doing a disappointing books read video, and these are the disappointing books that I read in 2021. Now, there are only a couple of books that I'm going to be talking about, which is kind of like a good thing because that means that I didn't really read much disappointing books or books that failed or received a failing mark. And the thing about these books, just a little warning, these are books that I read for BLouRay Book Club. And well, if you've been like keeping an eye about the discussions that we were having, you probably have ideas which books are these. So, and if you know my rating system, and if you know that when a book gets 2.75 or lower over 5, it's going to be included in this list. Last year I didn't do one because I only had one, and I felt like I already created like a soul reading vlog and that would suffice it, but this time I have two, so I'm going to be creating one, so let's get started. So the first book that I'm going to be talking about, I gave it 2.75 out of 5 stars, and that would be Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I'd have to say that I had a little bit of a better reading experience compared to Six of Crows. You know, Six of Crows, the one that put me into reading funk, and one of the books that provided me the worst reading experience in my life. I gave that 1.5, and to be fair, the last scene kind of gave you, or kind of gave me a glimmer of hope of like Crooked Kingdom being a lot better and having a lot more thrill, a lot more excitement. And I heard from people that yes, Six of Crows focus more on the backstories of the characters, like the character building, like their situations and all that, and Crooked Kingdom is really like, you know, this is it, like this is the thing. Now at first the whole thing about capturing a natural was really thrilled. You kind of know like how the heist is kind of going to happen. But towards like the middle, it started to become like there's no objective. Like, what's going to happen with the heist? What is the goal already in the story? Okay, putting Van Eyck accountable. It was like, oof. It was like, what's gonna happen next? What's now the? And we got like a lot of these backstories. You know, some of them were like good as they are. And maybe it made sense to the overall narrative, like with Willen's backstories. I think they're the ones that like really made sense towards like what they're about to do next, which is to put like Van Eyck accountable, like with Willen's dad accountable. But like the rest, it was just like randomly inserted there. Like there were parts wherein you're going to the backstory and then all of a sudden it's back to the present, which is like the transition wasn't smooth, and it's just. It wasn't resonating enough, like, because it felt like a lot of it were anthologies, and you just didn't know what's gonna happen next. Like, what? I mean, I know being predictable isn't really the best thing either, and also, of course, there has to be like that thrill of surprise. But this one is like, you just don't know the objective. You just don't know the objective of the narrative, and you just get lost throughout the narrative. And yeah, like I said, I felt like I was reading an anthology. So, yes, I was really disappointed because I got really my hopes up. But this duology, and I'm going to keep it as a duology, it's just not good. Not the best reading experience. Not even a good reading experience for me. So, what else can I say? It's just like, no, like, And I read Crooked Kingdom for BLouRay Book Club's November Book of the Month, so I read it for November. And this one I read for March for BLouRay Book Club, and it is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I gave this 2.25 out of 5 stars. Definitely you know, after you read the book, there are thoughts that are going to provoke or make you contemplate about, like when you talk about path in life, privileges, you know, fandom, you know, being a content creator. At some point there is about that, because of course one of our main characters has this like sort of podcast or YouTube where he doesn't show his identity. So the thing about this book, it's just like towards like the first 70%, it was like a huge like cycle. There wasn't really anything like developing. And I know like with contemporary books, it's more of like the situations of the characters that are happening. This one, it was just like the 70% was like, okay, girl is a fan, guy created a contest, and now girl creates fan art towards the guy's, you know, show or content, and then like there's a little bit of a development of feelings, but it's just like, it's just there. And it was just towards like the latter parts where, okay, who is this mystery person, and then, you know, this whole like annoying mom and the wicked mom, which by the way added spice to the story. The wickedness of the mother of our guy main character. She is just like, no, like, but if you're a character-driven person, you know, you might not necessarily like this book. But yeah, it was just like those scenes with the mother just like added more intensity. Now, warning, there's an animal death here that was mentioned, so a little warning for y'all. And towards the end, it did become intense and it had an impact. Like the narratives were depicted well. It's just that the first around 70% of the book, like up until the 70% of the book, it was just like cycles and nothing was really happening. It was dragging, so that's why I gave it 2.25 out of 5. Feel free to comment down below what are your thoughts about these books if you've read them, or feel free to comment down below some of your disappointing reads or disappointing books that you read in 2021, or disappointing books in general, I guess. So I hope you folks liked this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And I'll also be putting down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.